that's why Paul wrote in Romans chapter 12, verse 2. He wrote that, do not be conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewal of your mind, that you may prove what is the perfect and the good, the acceptable and the perfect will of God.
Amen.
And you have this choice again. Do you conform to this, or do you conform to that? And yesterday, when I was thinking about this, I got this phrase in my mind, which was the Father speaking, and he was saying, like, I never call you to conform to this world. I call you to conform to the image of my Son.
Yes.
Because it says, as Jesus is, so are we in this world.
Amen.
That is what we are conforming to. That is what we are supposed to be conforming to. That is who we are supposed to watch, like, in the yoke example, watch and match, watch and copy, and flow in his power and in the same power that he flowed. And those are also the results that we are supposed to get, the same results that Jesus did, the same works that Jesus did, the same words that Jesus spoke, the same miracles that Jesus performed, and even bigger miracles and works and words and whatever, because Jesus is now in heaven and we are his hands on the earth.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Jesus.
Like, and I would like to quickly kind of, because at least for me, the word conform is a very powerful word, but it's not a very usual word for me, at least outside the Bible. It might have something to do because I'm a Finn by born, whatever nationality. So the language things. So I don't know how it is for people in the States, but at least for me, it wasn't very familiar word before I started studying this. And this is what I have heard taught, and which I think describes it very well, that to conform is to pour into the mold. So like you have this, you have like molten iron, which is poured, and then it's placed in this mold, and then it cools down, and when you take the mold away, you have a nice, the same shape of iron that the mold was.
Yeah.
And that's like a process of molding, being conformed. So when it says, don't be conformed to this world, it means that don't be poured, don't be pressed, don't be forced into this mold of this world so that you will be like a block like everyone else.
Like it's a simple way of saying don't fit to the box.
don't fit the box.
Don't be the box. No.
Because what I see so much in this world is that we have, like, for example, let's take a school system. And personally, I like school. I like learning, especially. I like learning more than I like school. But still, we have like these people and this is I'm paraphrasing one weird professor I had in the university.
Okay.
But he was saying like sausage in, mincemeat out. But it was just like it's like a factory process. You have a box, you put a person in the box, you seal it, and next, you have block after block after block after block, ready to work in your factory.
Yeah.
And not just the school system. It's like you have all the posters and rock stars and idols, and the magazine covers where people like be like this person, be like this ideal, be like like this, believe this, like we'll brainwash you to believe evolution, whatever, like conform. and today we see that this more than ever, and we have a nice symbol for this whole process, which is conform to the image of this world. And there was this in Daniel chapter 3, and the book of Daniel is really powerful. But in Daniel chapter 3, and even before that, we have situation where Israel is conquered because they have messed up real bad and they have not repented. And God is like, I'm done with these guys, for a season. And so many of the Israelites are taken captive to Babylonian. And the king of Babylon took some of the brightest guys, the princes and anyway, people with potential, and started educating them. So they started teaching to them all the wisdom of that nation, because they wanted to get access to that potential. So they were taught some things.
Television, of course. Okay, we got it. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, but among those Israelites, there was this Daniel guy, and there were also his 3 friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, which were not the original names. They were given new names, but because they are so many times referred with these names, I don't remember the original names, so we'll just call them that. But anyway, it doesn't matter. There were these 4 guys who chose that we ain't gonna watch that. We ain't gonna eat the same food that these guys eat. We're not gonna study the same things that these guys study. We're not gonna believe the same things that these guys believe. We're gonna draw from God and His Word, and that will be our source. So I mean, they had to do some convincing on their teacher, because teacher was like, and he really liked these guys because they were good guys. But the teacher was like, I mean, if you stop studying this stuff and you start studying some random stuff over here, like, I mean, you're not gonna get the same results. You're not gonna get as good results, and then they will come and kill me.
Oh no!
Because I didn't teach you well.
Yeah.
But Daniel was very wise, and he just said that, we're scientists here, right? Give us a chance to prove that this is better. We have 10 days of this stuff, and after 10 days you can check our results and do what you want to do. So 10 days passed, and these guys were found much better than the other people. Interestingly.
Oh man.
So the teacher was, well, okay, these guys are getting better results, and I guess I'm getting the promotion for that, so sounds good to me.
Yeah. So it's like a win-win situation. Okay.
Yeah, win-win.
Yeah.
So these guys get to study God's word. These guys get to study the Babylonian stuff, and eventually the king comes and he's like, okay, let's have a exam here, and let's talk with these guys and see who is the best, and what they have learned and stuff. And he found that these guys were 10 times better.
Oh man.
So I don't know if it's X10 or X11. Either way, pretty good.
Well, quite good, yeah.
10 times better than these guys. because they trusted in God and not in the Babylonian system.
Oh man.
And they watched this and not this. So they were promoted. So that's the backstory. Sorry, this is a long way to go around it, but it showed that these guys already had a history of trusting in God and had a history of results. And if you remember our mathematical equation, which was this: if you have x11, you're abiding in the vine. If you have x0, you're not abiding in the vine. Or
kind of simple thing.
So these guys had x11, so they were doing pretty good in the abiding part.
Oh man.
No, I went the wrong layer. Anyway, but that's the backstory. Now, here's the what they decided to do. And props to him for being able to do this. He was the most powerful man in the world at that time, so he could do anything he wanted. So he decided to make this image of himself, which was like
Daniel 3. It says about that.
Yeah. Daniel actually showed him a dream about it and showed the interpretation for the dream, and it was about how God rules and this sort of thing. But in this dream there was this gold guy, the king as a head of gold. So so he was inspired by that. So he presented this golden image of himself, and it was huge. And for me, it's a bit hard because the metrics are different. It was in cubits. Do you happen to know, Henrik, how high it was?
Yeah, I have read it, but I don't remember it now. Maybe it was something like more than 100 meters, more than 100 meters tall or something like
okay.
that. It was very tall. It was very tall.
Yeah. So it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was.
And then there was this ceremony where all of the leaders of that country were called. And there was this announcer guy who said that, we're going to play some music. And when the music plays, all of you are going to fall and worship this image. And those who are not falling, they're going to be thrown into this nice oven over here, which is, warmed and good for burning people to death. So you'd better worship this.
Better worship the image. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So this was the proclamation. And well, they start playing some music, all these different instruments, and it's a really good beat and stuff. And these guys fall down, worship this image of gold. So, command comes from above and people obey. Sounds somehow familiar.
Yeah, it kind of sounds, yeah.
But there were these 4 guys, and apparently Daniel was traveling somewhere or something, so he wouldn't attend. But there was these 3 guys, which were the Daniel 3 friends, who wouldn't fall. They were just, we're not gonna fall because we've been worshiping our God our whole life, and he gave all this wisdom to us, and we're not gonna backstab him by suddenly starting to conform to this Babylonian system, even though all the other people are. So the other people got a bit envy for these guys, and they were like, these guys are not worshiping your image, so what should we do to them? I think we should throw them here. So the king, whose ego was on the line, it was his nice project, was like, it said that he was very angry. And he commanded that, okay, I'll give you one more chance. We're gonna play another song, and you're gonna worship this image. And if you don't explained again what's going to happen. And these guys answered. It was quite fun. It said that we're not even gonna consider your offer. We're not even gonna be careful about this, because we're not gonna bow to your image of gold. Never.
Oh, no.
Our God is much bigger than you, and he's able to save us. We're trusting in our God. We are not putting our trust in you, because that would be going down. So do what you want, but we ain't budging. And even if our God didn't save us, that's our conviction. We're not gonna move. So these guys had some balls, as people would say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true.
So then the king got extra angry. He got like super
even bigger eyebrows. Okay.
So he commanded to heat the oven like 7 times as hot and then throw them in. And well, long story short, God saves them from the fire. They had no damage, not even their clothes were burned. And when that happened, the king was like, and it's a funny king, Nebuchadnezzar was one interesting person. But the king was like, whoa,
Yeah, whoa.
their God saved them. He must be a big God, So Nebuchadnezzar made a new commandment that, people need to worship God, and those who don't are going to get killed and so on. So, temperamental guy.
Killing somebody who's not doing his will. This is funny.
But
nice king.
This is the situation where these children found themselves, or, men, actually.
Yeah.
And they had a choice, like trust this guy, and he was a powerful guy, or trust this guy who's even more powerful guy, conform to this image, or conform to the image of this guy's son.
Oh, man.
And they made the right choice.